A game of tactical miniature battles where you are a kami master. You are a martial arts master with a set of skills and abilities specific to your character, but you bond with a kami spirit, a spiritual entity of the dragon, phoenix, tiger, or tortoise, depending on your choices. And what happens here is you then bond with the thing, with the kami. It becomes part of you. And you take your character cards and you actually shuffle them into the deck. So this deck of cards, your battle deck, it's the only shuffle that happens in the game. This is your life, it is your attacks, it's your defense. This is the core of the game. What also comes with the Kami Master is a miniature. This is a representative piece. Greenbrier has made these minis. They're not the exact ones that will be with the game. And they're tome cards. Now, the tome is a set of abilities and skills that have been passed down through the ages to your master. They are your house's secret skills and skill sets and techniques that is specific to your character. So you bond with the kami in setup, you place the modular boards around the kami board, and players will then have this. There is a nice little round overview sheet for the game that is included. And what happens here is there are two major phases of a round. There's the destiny step and the battle phase. Now what happens here is the destiny sets up the round. And then the battle phase is where everybody starts just going at each other. The Destiny, you determine rounds actions. In a two-player game, there are two standard actions. In a 3, there are 3 standard actions. And in a 4, there are 4 standard actions in the sequence that I put in. Now, you also, each player has an action chip that they, during the Destiny step, add in a simultaneous hidden choice at the same time.
Oh.
Now these are added to the action pool, and this is the pool of actions that are available during combat.
Okay.
Players alternate when they get into the battle phase by selecting one of these, taking it out of the pool, and then they can do that action. So the technique here ends up being is if you want to be ensured that you can actually attack, you probably don't want to try to put that in. If you don't want to be attacked, you may be putting move actions into the pool just to not allow your opponent to attack.
Okay.
So after the Destiny step, when actions are put into the pool, you have a reconcile step. During setup, there are 3 things on your avatar card. There is the karma, the hand, and your speed, along with the special abilities of your character. Now, the karma is the number of cards during setup that you put into your karma pool. Now, when a card is in your karma pool, there are 2 things that are important. The first thing is the number of karma. And the second thing is if the card has the text fate. Now, we're going to actually predominantly display it in the top corner for ease in the production, but a fate ability triggers when it's entered into the karma pool. During setup, the beginning fate triggers don't apply. So I have 1 card in my karma pool. I draw up to my hand. My hand is 3, so I have 3 cards in my hand. I have my karma pool. I open my tome book to the first page, and I'm ready to play. Now, reconciling your hand is this. It's a mini mulligan. Okay. So I drew my cards, and I noticed that I do not have any that have a little shield icon. I have absolutely no defense in my starting hand.
Yeah.
And pretty much like saying we placed relatively close, I can assume that I'm going to be attacking right out the gate. Now, I don't like that, so I'm going to take my Reconcile phase to draw 3 more cards.
Okay, so now, do you have only 1 mulligan?
Yes,
for this?
And what happens here is once you start drawing, you cannot put any more under the bottle.
Okay, yeah,
so
makes sense.
You can put 1 under and draw 1 out. Later in the game, when you have when after the round is over, all the actions are done, a new round begins, you enter the same steps, and I can reconcile this 1 card and draw 3, or I can just draw up to 2. Drawing only happens during this beginning block. When it's your turn, you do not draw cards. So, I went through, and I was really unlucky, and I did not get any defensive cards again, which is fairly uncommon, but I'm not concerned. I know I'm going to be taking damage in this game. It's a core of the game. So, I have my hand, then initiative begins. Now, round order in the game, it goes clockwise, but the starting player of each round is determined by initiative. Now, by initiative, what you do is you flip the top card of your deck, battle deck, into your karma pool. The number indicated that's entered in the karma pool is your initiative value. You also just gained more spiritual energy. So each round you're gaining a little bit more spiritual energy. So the karma, everyone flips a card. The person with the highest card goes first. If there's a tie, you go down to the attack. If there's another tie where someone flipped a 5-3 and I flipped 5-3 and it's the top, then both players would put another card into their karma. Now, you note here, this is what I meant by a defensive card. As a defense icon, I'll get into that when we get into the battle phase. So, we have done the setup. We have done the entire first Destiny phase. We have determined the round's actions. We have reconciled our hands. We've done initiative. Now it's time to start battle. So, in battle, I can do 2 actions. I can do a combat action, and I can do a tome action. So, combat actions are easy. They can be done in any order. When I take a combat action, I can do that action that I took. I can move up to my speed, or I can just not move. I can just take that action out of the pool. So, assuming that I have taken a move action, I'm not going to take a move action. I'm going to take an attack action. And I have a tome action. I want to do my tome first just because. I can do one of 3 things. The first thing I can do is I can focus. I can focus my karma and add another card to my karma pool. I don't want to do it. I can turn a page in my tome. Now, this is an interesting feature because while this tome is open, I only have access to this one ability. When I turn pages, it gives me access to additional techniques and abilities that, as you go through, they become more powerful. And sometimes you move back. You can move backwards or forwards with the turning of the page. So the third thing I can do is pay for an effect. So if I turn my page, I can't do anything this turn. I have to wait until my next turn to pay for the effect. Paying for an effect is using a card with the value. This has a value of 6, so I would actually have to use both my cards. Karma is not floating, it's you use it to do the ability. This is a 3, so I could use one of my 5 cards. That's what I'll do. That's what I'm going to do next time. But when it comes to my turn again, what I would do is I would pay, which is I would use this card. Use is not common vernacular in this game. Use is a keyword meaning take the card and put it under your battle deck. When you lose a card, you take the card and you discard it. This is your life, so anytime that you lose a card or exert, which is a keyword which means take the top card to the outside, discard means take a card from your hand. The hand and the battle deck are your life. So, the karma pool is not. It becomes part of your life again once it's put back in. So if you're just loading up your karma pool, you're actually weakening yourself physically until you use it.
and then it goes back into the pool.
Yes.
So, okay, so you really got to think ahead a bit in this game and just how you're going to use your karma, and you got to watch out your life as well.
Yes.
Because I'm sure there's stuff that's going to happen to you that's going to make you lose some cards in the game.
Yes,
So.
Exactly. So really what ends up happening is this. In a typical battle sequence, I am going to grab one with the defensive card. And what would happen is this. I took an attack action. I am going to play my attack action using this.
Okay.
I do not have to spend anything or do anything to play it. It's just, I use my attack action. I am going to rotate before my attack. You can rotate before the attack, or if that attack does not hit, this attack does.
Okay.
So I'm targeting these spaces and these spaces. The interesting part is that this game really becomes a sweet spot when you get more players involved. The game, I would say the sweet spot is a 4-player team match.
Oh, okay.
Where you're playing with another player. And the best part about this game is there is no player elimination.
Oh, all right.
So I'm not going to knock out a person, have them sitting there for 45 minutes while we're having fun.
Exactly.
I'll explain how that works in 1 minute.
Okay.
So right after I attack, the defender has a chance to respond with a defensive card.
Okay.
In this case, she is using the tortoise. She is going to use repost.
All right.
I lose this. You can just do it for free as a response because of the shield. You do what it says on the card.
Okay.
You repost. I lose this card. So she's taking a damage.
Yeah.
To prevent 2 damage and deal 3 damage to me.
Okay.
So I attacked for 4.
Yeah.
She's losing this, taking 2 off of her deck, and I'm taking 3 damage. I cannot respond to a response. So the net of this is I took 3 damage and she took 3 damage from my attack. When after I play an attack, it's used. It's put into the bottom of my deck. That would be my attack action. My tome action was moving. My turn would be over.
When you take damage, are those cards gone now for you?
Yes.
For the rest of the game? So
they're gone.
Okay.
It reduces my options. It reduces my strength.
And how strong your life is, too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
What happens here is this. There are several abilities that heal. Healing abilities, you take the top card of your discard pile and you place it into your deck. Only a couple characters like the priestess and the monk have access to healing effects. I'm Kenta. I'm a warrior. My whole dynamic is that I get more angry when you hit me, and my attacks get stronger the more cards that are in my karma pool with values of 6 or higher. So my attacks get stronger the more I have in here. And when you look at the distribution of karma across the different kami, you look at the tortoise, he has very low karma. He's very plodding and slow. He does not win initiative often, but he has the most cards. He gives you the most life. He has high attacks, and he's generally a tank. You go to the tiger, he's a well-rounded. He has a medium karma set. He has a medium life total. You go to the phoenix, he has a little bit higher, more swingy karma totals, but he has actions that like blast in and you can deal damage. The tiger is or the dragon is the glass cannon. It's the highest in spiritual energy, the lowest in life. So I actually built a very interesting build here where I'm a melee type persona who has the lowest life total of any combination of the game. But my ability keys off of the high karma that the dragon has. So I'm going to be wanting to put cards in here to beef up my attacks, but at the same time, this isn't part of my life. I'm slowly diminishing my options. And basically play goes around until all the tokens are taken by players. And then you restart with the new destiny phase. Now, I mentioned that there's no player elimination. So how does that work?
How do you defeat that person?
I took all this damage. Okay, I have no life. I am knocked down of that round.
Okay.
At the end of the round, I restore. I flip over my avatar card to my restored state.
Okay.
I am now possessed by my kami. The kami has taken over. I am coming back as a stronger character that deals more damage, and I am a bigger threat on the field.
All right.
However, and what happens here is I get my cards back.
Okay.
Now, what happens here, though, is this: I'm no longer a win condition.
Okay.
So in a two-player team game, the winning team is the team that has one character that is not restored.
Okay.
A tie in a game occurs if both people simultaneously become restored at the same time. In a two-player game, you would only play until the one person becomes restored, and that would end the game. And basically, so what happens is I come back as a bigger, stronger threat.
Yeah.
But their target is my partner.
Yeah, because you're not part of the win condition.
Correct. So I become a kingmaker sort of role in a free-for-all game.
Yeah.
In a team game, my role is to get in there, try to take, because it happens, typically people all are around the same life total when someone gets knocked out. So when someone gets knocked out, all of a sudden, this big, huge, strong, imposing force appears on the board, and everyone's in a position where we have low life. So once one player restores, typically the game ends within 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Good stuff. So it's not like it doesn't take like an hour to play or something. It's around
a full 4-player game takes about 90 minutes.
90 minutes, okay.
Yeah. Once players know their characters, their roles, and everything else, in a 2-player game, you can finish in about 30 to 45 minutes.
All right, that's cool. That's Yashima, and thanks again, Tony, for showing us this. This is awesome. So tell us, okay, so this is not available yet.
No. After GenCon, I know that Greenbrier Games is going to be releasing a print and play of 2 characters.
Oh, all right.
For people to test out the game, see if they like it, and stuff like that. And then afterwards, Greenbrier is going to be launching a Kickstarter.
All right, coming soon to Kickstarter. Awesome.
And it will be probably around a month's time after GenCon.
So are you thinking like GenCon 2015, we may see this on store shelves? Or
I really hope so.
I know, would that be cool? That's awesome. Yeah. So thanks again, Tony. This looks great. Looks really interesting. I like the just how the whole karma works, how everything, it's different from other games. So I love that. That's cool.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. Great gameplay, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
And that's Mad Meeple. Catch you later.